Garcia from Wichita Telegram. I know you said all the right things when Zach wasn't here about his business, but now that he's back, how do you feel about him being back?
Oh, no, it was great to get back. I mean, we got the news yesterday, and the offensive staff meeting, the room erupted. So there's been a lot of high fives and hugs all day and night yesterday, once he got in. But yeah, I think that shows you what he means to us and what he means to our football team, and I know especially offense. So, but it is business. This is part of our industry. But we're about connecting and what we need to do to win, and he's a big part of that.
Mike Todd, Archer, ESPN. How does he make guys around him better?
Oh, I mean, so many ways, on and off the field. You just look the way he trains, the way he prepares. His training's top notch. He's super consistent, humble. He pays it forward. He helps the young guys. So has excellent relationships throughout the building. And other than that, when he puts his hand in the ground, he's really good. So he just does everything right.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. Is the timing of it almost perfect for you guys in terms of him coming here? And I don't know if he'll practice tomorrow or not, but the time.
No, yeah. I mean, the goal for Zach is we'll ramp him up through individual. So, I think you can understand. He's been training, so he just wants to get in his pads and get moving. So that's where we'll start today, and we'll see how that goes, and maybe do a little more tomorrow. And so, yeah, but we're going to be smart with him.
The younger guys miss seeing him every day out here.
Well, I think anytime you sit there, it just starts in the spring. I mean, you're going through the examples. I mean, you install the runs, you install a protection, and a very high percentage of time he's part of that teaching role. So, and then obviously his reputation, his presence in the locker room, leadership council, all those things. So yeah, it's very beneficial to his teammates, but especially our young guys. I mean, he's an incredible example.
Did you ever worry about him not being here, not getting here?
That'd be hypothetical, Clarence. So I'm very happy he's here. I'm so happy that that's passed us. So.
Following that up, how much did he miss, or did he miss anything?
No, I mean, just talking yesterday, and I think it just shows you how he's wired. Because he missed some time. In the off-season program, just some things, but he's been in all the walkthroughs. He's been on top of everything. So, he's just excited to get this week, get it buttoned up, and then get into some live drills next week, hopefully. So.
Brad Sham, Cowboys Radio. Now that he's here,
yes.
How does it influence the way you look at ball?
Well, I mean, it doesn't influence how we look at Josh Ball or anybody any differently. I mean, it's I think Josh has been given an incredible opportunity for the number of reps that he's been given. So I just think like anything, based on how we're playing games, how we're practicing, particularly today and tomorrow, there's goals and expectations in each and every practice. So today we want to get as much work as we can with our first group. So and Josh will be part of that today still.
Yeah, I ask that because if we all know that unexpected things happen in contract situations.
Yes.
So would you not have had to have been looking at Ball both as the backup and evaluating him as a potential starter if you needed, if Zach didn't come in, which you don't have to do now?
Well, I just think, and this is not specific to this particular situation, but the general philosophy, and it's just it's the reason why you practice the way you do, is it's the next man up. I mean, everybody has to be ready to go, and in particular when you get into roster development, you're looking for players that can play dual roles, or hopefully maybe even have 3 roles. So we weren't there. I mean, we were trying to install our offense and giving our guys as much opportunity as possible. Today will be kind of our final install day, so we're going back and clean some things up from the first 8, and so we'll work those today, and then we'll work heavy situations tomorrow. But that's where we're starting to transition offensively.
Nick Harris, DallasCowboys.com. The offense going against the Jacksonville first-team defense to start the game on Saturday. How important was it for that offensive line, and what do you think they learned from that?
Great experience. I mean, what an incredible opportunity. Just going into it, we were real excited for those guys. And I think if ifs and buts or nuts, it'd be Christmas all the time. I get that, but I think you have to really look, when you look at the video, there's some really good football that we're a player two away from being in a position to score. We obviously get the turnover right away. So, but the reality of it is those mistakes are really good, reps now to learn from. But it was a really good experience for those guys.
Mike, with John Stevens, obviously was a receiver, but how do you know a guy is going to be a willing blocker when you make that move to put him at tight end?
How do you know?
Yeah, what makes it okay? He'll be a guy that can get some blocking.
Well, I mean, you look at his play style. You look at his leverage points. I mean, has he been asked to use them? I mean, what does he have coming in here? Everybody has a starting point, but at the end of the day, you break down every young guy in there because every team has a certain way. You do footwork and hand placement and those things, and how it's fit. How it fits together in the run blocking. Scheme of it, no different pass protection. But you look at his skill set. I mean, you could see. We talked about him in the spring. I mean, I know we're only in helmets then, but he's definitely brings a lot to the table. I mean, he's just young. He's just young, and he needs to work.
How is he adapting as well?
He's doing good. He's doing good. Getting better.
Christy Scales, Cowboys Radio. In regards to the staff's approach to a preseason game and the young guys, last week you said going into the first game that it's almost like easier for the young guys as opposed to practice because you're putting in all the install and it's a little more pared back in the game. In preseason game 2, is there a little more thrown at him in terms of?
Well, we'll really get to that Thursday. So we'll try to keep it a little tighter if we can. But yeah, this is a challenging week. I mean, they had a huge review day today. There'll be a bunch of situational emphasis tomorrow. So, I mean, they're still being challenged, mentally, and that's part of it. You want training camp to be difficult as you can make it, because then when you do get to the games, regular season, the game plans seem simple, and that's what you want, because you really want the players focusing on what they're doing full speed and also being in tune with the other guy, how the other guy's lining up and what his mannerisms, and just get more specific into how we're going to play. But right now we're really challenging them on what we're playing with. So I think it's two different realms, but I think it definitely builds a foundation for the in-season work.
Hey, Coach, Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. Ronald Jones with the groin injury, will he do work today, and what are his odds for Seattle?
Yeah, Ronald won't work today. He'll be in a limited fashion, so he'll be with the early group.
Telegram. Did Duke surprise you by anything in the game?
I mean, the way he played the game looked like the way he played at K-State. So I think it's just like anything, and every rookie goes through it. First time they get out there, how fast do they play? Are they playing as fast as they can, or are they playing as fast as they used to? I mean that's all part of crossing the threshold for first-year players. So obviously his talent speaks for itself, but his way he approaches it, he's the same every day. He's a very level personality. So that part of it, nothing's too big for him. I mean, it's very bright, very instinctive, very aware, knows who he is, and he knows how to use his skills. So I thought he looked very comfortable out there.
I guess I'm saying it's one thing to see it on tape at Kansas State, another thing to see it in person. You see it for yourself.
Yeah, well, I mean, but you can see it out here. I mean, he's made plays out here that you go, whoa, and I mean, the first thing I noticed standing behind the line is when first time we ran in a real team period in the padded work was D linemen, their hands and eyes are usually here, but now they can't find them. So and that's an asset, and he knows it too. And I think his ability to accelerate creases, he's hitting, in his instincts and awareness. He's not waiting for the crease to open. He's in the crease as it comes together. And I think the run there he had to start the second half. I mean, it shows that.
Mike, along the lines of playing fast, did Brooks have a few plays where he played a little too fast?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no doubt. And I think one of the things we hit in the passing game is just a lot of our basic plays and ability to how we're emphasizing from a receiver standpoint attacking the DBs, going after them, not reacting to their leverage and so forth. And to me, that gets you one more stride closer than you need to be. So I think you know, his heart, mind was moving a little faster than it needed to be. So, because, you know, with his body type and what he's shown out here already, he just needs to trust his fundamentals and his technique, because he's got a very natural catching radius, and he is a good contact balance, contested catch player. That's his game. So, you know, I look for him to be better this week.
Mike, with CD in his development, does that follow a path that you've seen of the receivers you've been around?
Oh yeah, no doubt, absolutely. I think it's just, you know, you always knew CD, you know, had it. You can see that right away. You know, when he came here as a rookie, and it's really, you know, they start outside, you know, and you know what's his menu outside, then you put him inside. What's his menu inside? You know, is he on the backside of the 2x2? So my point is, as we move him around, you know, because we have to continue to create more opportunities for him. And, you know, what I loved about CD right away is, and what you always look for in receivers with his body type is, or do they attack the interior routes? Because that's where the money's at. You know, the fastest way to the end zone is through the post. You know, fastest way to the end zone is then up the seams. You know, and his ability to get out there on the autobahn outside of numbers and play. So he has all that. So I think what you're seeing is the natural progression, and you know, we understand what it was like when he was here as a rookie. You know, but now, specifically last year, he was featured a tremendous amount in the pass game. So we need to continue to do that. But you know, we feel like we have more speed around him too. So we got to utilize that.
Was there a moment last year where you saw that jump? I mean, late in the season, I think, you know, he was having 10 catch games, 100 yards every week almost.
Yeah, I think CD that first year had a couple balls that may have got away from him, but other than that, I mean, I never had any doubts about him, and you know, and I've seen them all go through it. I've seen Jordy, Greg Jennings, Devontae Adams. You know, it's a natural progression. You know, and it's usually that second year where you go, okay, you know, he has a chance to be something really special. Yeah, but I think his has been very consistent in his climb.
Any of the corrections from Ozzie, was that more about, hey, this is the first time you've played at this level, so we know you'll get better, that kind of thing?
Well, I think the biggest thing with, you know, Mozzie and the other guys, I mean, it's, you know, if you look at the way we played the game, you know, the play time, the reps were really spread out, and that was by design, because, you know, we wanted the players that were in that game against Jacksonville, we wanted it to feel like a Sunday afternoon. And the point I'm making is, and not particularly, you know, for the linemen, you know, their special teams responsibility. So, you know, it just wasn't like you play 10 plays, you're done. So, you know, when you have to have buddy systems throughout, because you never really know how those games are going to go based on how the personnel is going to be distributed. So, yeah, but so I think the way we played those guys, yeah, I really like that. We'll have a similar format again this week.
All right.
Good. Thank you.